I eat living foods, George. Hey, everybody. Let's get right into it. I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody is, those of you who are walking in righteousness, my prayer is that you will always be protected and guided. There is getting ready to be an influx of karmic justice. Must be the truth. There's getting ready to be an influx of karmic justice. And it's all going to be happening. It's going to seem like for the collective, for the body of the collective, it's going to seem like it's happening simultaneously across the board. For example, you could be in the grocery store or in a clothing store and y'all could be checking out, waiting to check out, and then next thing you know, you spark a conversation with somebody or they spark a conversation with you. I haven't shuffled the deck yet. And then y'all start talking and you find out y'all got similar situations going on. The next thing you know, you and that person, it just seems like y'all lives are mirroring each other. And it could be like, somebody did you wrong in your family, or ex-spouse or whatever, or ex-friend. And all of a sudden they tell you, well, that ex-friend ended up going to jail, or they say something ended up happening to that person. Well, this is getting ready to happen across the board simultaneously. Okay. For others of you, relationship wise, those of you who have had to break away and break free from narcissism, my God, for those of you who had to break away from narcissism in a relationship, I don't care if you were dating, I don't care if you were espoused to someone, I don't care. You having to break away from that person. Someone asked a question to a narc that has a YouTube channel. And they asked, what is the karma of the narcissist? He began to say, you leaving the narcissist is the karma. I want to tell y'all something. There was something that I discovered not too long ago that is actually worse than a narcissist. What's worse than a narcissist is something that you call, and most karmic women, not that it's limited to karmic women, but there's a lot of karmic females that fit the description. You usually have the narcissist. Not all narcissists are males. Unfortunately, it does seem to run a little bit more common on the masculine side. But there is a conversation that has not been talked about a lot, especially in the spiritual community, maybe due to the fact that a lot of people do not know about this. So I'm going to hip you to what's getting ready to happen, or what is happening right now as I speak. The person that did you dirty is getting ready, or is already in a relationship, to the degree they could not see that person. Just like you couldn't see the narcissist for who they were, they masked themselves under a false light energy. That's another thing that's getting ready to be revealed. There's a lot of false light going on. Okay, there's a lot of false light. There's a lot of people who are mimicking their energy to be of high vibration. Case in point, this is a little rabbit trail. In 2021, one of the people that tried to sacrifice me for fame, I noticed that she did her best to keep a high vibration. Now, I was in the kitchen fixing me some live foods to eat. And which means it's living foods, it's leafy and it's nice and there's no meat in there. Or high vibrational, that's what I'm eating. I noticed that she had a balance in her diet. I noticed that she liked to do activities and exercise. I noticed that she would indulge herself into music and different other avenues to keep her vibes high. But yet, she did evil. And you say, how, Sway? How, Rafiki? How can somebody keep their energy high and still be evil? It's called masking yourself under false light. Just like you got a lot of people who can pray to God and pray to their Jesus or pray to their Buddha or pray to Allah and still have a mindset of, not only do I not respect what I'm praying to, but I'm using this energy to mask myself as much as possible. And what happens is it only works on people who are not fully awakened to these facts. So when someone has a good heart, but they're blind and they're not spiritually awake, they haven't had their awakening yet, they can't see this. They can't see it. So what ends up happening is, because they're already in a love vibration, they come off as ditzy. They come off as a little slow. They come off a little blind. And so that person that has evil intentions will continue to mask themselves under a false light so that they can do their bidding on this person. Whatever the hidden agenda may be, and the end of that agenda will be, that's what they want to look, that's what they want to do. You understand? This was my testimony in 2021. And this is just one person that I'm talking about. So, and this person has close affiliations to those in the industry. And I've rattled off names before. I've called this person's name out, and I've called the people's name out that she has ties to. Immediate ties. This is 1 degree. Actually, ain't no degrees of separation. It's this. So I know what I'm talking about personally, and this is not alleged. It's not alleged what I'm talking about. She kept her vibrations high as a means to mask false light. There's also another notion in the evil realms of the people who walk this earth. There's talks amongst them that when you're doing your stuff and you get your vibes high, that it can't reverse back to you. That's a lie. It doesn't even prolong it. That's a lie. Anytime there is a stalling of something being reversed back to somebody who done did something that they wasn't supposed to, especially to a child of light, real true light, If it's stalled, it's only because it is stacking up against you. That once the floodgates of heaven open up, oh baby, it ain't just gonna rain. It's gonna be the great deluge in your life all over again. You may want to go and check out my website. It is fully stocked. Whatever goes out of stock, it is not my fault. I did add some new stuff to the website, some new products to the website. I have 3 amulets up. 3. I'm gonna say that again. 3 amulets are up. All of them deal with protection, but some of them do deal with money. Actually, just read the description. And it is already charged and ready to go. Well, whoever buys them, I'm going to add your energy to that amulet, okay? So let me just say that'll be the finalization of everything. Also, I'm running a sale on my spell work right now. It's going to be $30.13. It's going to be 5 clients per group, all right? First come, first serve basis. My original spell work is about 125 to 175, especially depending on what you want. This spell work that I'm running is $30.13. There's a reason why I have it so cheap. All right, there's a reason why I have it so cheap, and there's a reason why I put a stall on it. Go on my website, go on the store portion, look under the products. It's going to be $30.13. You cannot beat that. From 125 to 175 to $30.13. Again, this is for a reason. I'm only taking 5 people. You understand? And it's going to be exclusive to those 5 people. When I'm done, then, the next batch will come through. I will be mailing something to you as a tangible means of this spell work being completed. All right? According to your case. This is a case-by-case basis. So this is not going to be the same for somebody else. It's geared toward what you get it for. All right? So just be mindful when you purchase it that I'm going to need your email address and your phone number, because I will be reaching out to you to see specifically what you need. All right? This will be happening just very soon. Well, it's already up now for purchase. So just go ahead and figure that out. All right? Yes, personal juju. We're not fucking around. It's this real stuff that's going on right now. All right? And if you need whatever you need, let me know. There's a reason why I'm doing it like this. Why this was downloaded into me to do that specific amount and bring the price down low just for 5 people. 1441 on the clock. So they, don't think that evil people or people with evil intentions don't raise their vibrations in order to try their best to manifest things on their behalf. They do this. They understand vibration and attraction, but they miss the memo with the cause of law, the law of cause and effect. They don't pay attention to karmic law, and it's because of the ego. They think that they're here. They think they're above that part of universal law, spiritual laws. Now, off that rabbit trail, back into the main agenda, the main objective, right? So, you want to know what's worse than leaving a narcissist. Because there is something, or somebody rather, worse than a narcissist itself. The true karmic justice of a narc on your behalf, rendered on the head of that narcissist, it's not just them no longer being able to be with you. They will no longer have you as a supply. It's also when they try to replace you and they find somebody, they will attract the full-blown karmic justice called an evil empath. I want you to hold on to me because I'm going to explain this as best as I can and as simplistic as I can. An evil empath is worse than a narcissist. 9 times out of 10, majority of the time, not all, majority of the time, 44 is people in here, 14 likes. So we got a lot of fours in the building and ones. We had 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Then we had 3, 3, 3. So angelic energy protection is here. An evil empath, majority of the time, you will find them a woman or under feminine energy. All right? So let me explain. The narcissist will try to hook an empath as best as they can as a narcissistic supply. This is why you see narcs thriving. Their money looks good. They try to get up their reputation because the truth is they really want to be somebody, but they have a very hard time maintaining friends because they don't know. When it comes to friendships, they really don't know how to open up. Because remember, a narcissist has such a huge, big ego. It's because they lacked love. They lacked the love they needed as a child. Not only that, but there was a lot of abandonment, neglect, and rejection amongst parents. Okay? So a lot of this, remember, narcs are created, not born. Okay? So you have the puppet strings of a narcissist on an empath of, watch this, of an unaware, unawakened empath. Let me clarify that. Because this is not going to fall under all empaths. You can be an empath but be awakened and know what time it is and be like, hell no, we won't go. But when you are an empath that is not awakened, you have not had your, not just a kundalini experience, but you have not awakened to what this world system, how it's really constructed. You come out of the matrix. That's what I'm meaning, okay? As long as they are asleep, they're able to have those puppet strings and play Geppetto, right? But what ends up happening, and it does end up happening, the empath eventually awakens. And then one or two things end up happening. They end up sinking further down into something and they're locked away forever. Or they awaken and they yield to the pain and the trauma. They get up, they get out, they heal, and they start their process of unhooking themselves. All right? Now, thank you, Luann. I appreciate you. Now, once that happens and benevolent energies start to work on your behalf, what ends up happening is karma for the narc begins to move down a pipe, okay? Think of it as green goo that is moving, not slow like molasses, but it's slow, but it's steady. And it's going through these twists and its turns, but it's making its way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and it's going to be homebound, all right? Right before it gets to a right, he's laughing because he's enjoying himself. Hey, be quiet back there, astronaut. So once it gets maybe 3/4 down the pipe, it slows up just a little bit more, because what ends up happening is destiny. The wheel of fortune, as it's turning in your favor, is turning out of the favor of this narc, okay? Remember, somebody got to be under the wheel. Somebody else got to be on top of the wheel. So as you are now moving from being up underneath the wheel, or aka being thrown under the bus, what ends up happening is there's a slow turn. As this is slowly turning in your favor and out of their favor, this goo slows up, because once it speeds up, it's going to rush very quickly, and it's going to be one go, and it's going to turn into concrete very quickly, and it's going to stifle. It's going to be a deep freeze. Now watch this. Because a narcissist does not really know how to take care of themselves on their own, They're going to always look for a narcissistic supply. This is where you get the word hobosexual. This is where they hop from one place to another, right? They will find who they deem in their mind a weak vessel, whether it's a masculine or feminine, because what you have to understand too, most narcs, if not, listen, most narcs will go by. For the sake of survival, they will. Some of them were already undercover there anyway. You can always tell most of the time is they talk really bad about those who are openly gay, lesbians, bisexuals, trans, okay? They always got something to say bad about somebody who is true LGBT. We're not talking about the agenda LGBT. We're talking about real everyday people who know what time it is. Okay? The ones who are always harping about how bad those people are, those narcs, 9 times out of 10, they the undercover ones. Okay? So be very mindful. Be very mindful. They'll be looking at a man butt switching, walking through the door, and making sure, looking at him in one eye and the other one. Or a woman will be sizing up another woman, not in the way you think. They would be wanting to munch, if you know what I mean. But yet will tell you she looks stank. You understand? Be very careful. So what is happening, watch this. What happens is, because they're so eager to replace you, because remember, they don't like to be alone. They don't like to sleep alone. They don't like paying bills. They want you to take care of them. A real man is going to provide. A real man is going to also build his significant other up as they are. The real significant other is going to be building them up. It's going to be reciprocity. That man should not be coming into somebody's life to be mooching. That woman should not be coming into somebody's life to be a moocher. Anybody who comes into anybody's life should be adding joy, adding peace, adding love, adding to the good things that are already there. And when they are an asset to you, when they're an asset in your life, when the hard times does come up, they're even assets in that, because first of all, they're emotionally intelligent. I'm talking about a real loving person, the opposite of a narcissist. They won't throw temper tantrums like they some little child. You understand? They have communication down, unlike a narcissist who don't really know how to communicate with themselves. So therefore, they're not going to know how to communicate with you. See, this is the thing. Once you start to learn the pattern, they can't disappoint you. And you're able to easily detach. All you have to do is be in the background planning your exit. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to plan my exit. You understand? My life was in danger. Me and my children's life was in danger, so I had to leave everything behind. I had to. I left a fully furnished home behind. He had only furnished 2 things in that house, and it was falling apart. Everything else I had bought by myself. Every time we moved somewhere, I put up first month's rent and the down payment for us to move in there, the deposit. He didn't help me with none of that, but was letting me drive around in a car in over 100-degree weather when I needed the AC fixed. So I know what I'm talking about, saints. They will have you taking care of them. And they will always try to find a way for you to take care of them. But it never does happen. It never happens. So what they always want to have a backup plan. They go and get somebody who they deem as being dumb and slow. I'll get over it, and all I got to do is love bomb them and they'll fall for it. Right? So what ends up happening, whether they are the same sex or not, whether they're the same race or not, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm going to put this on out there. When you've had a man who have run their luck in their own race, A man or a woman narcissist, when they run their luck or so many times in their own race, they will purposely go outside of their race. You understand? I done did too many black women or black men wrong, so now they gonna go to this race thinking. Listen to me. I gotta talk to my race of people first. There's a lot of narcissists that look like you and me, that go eventually, they end up going outside of their race because they, listen to me, they've already deemed that race stupid. Okay? They're gonna worship me because black is back. Black ain't whack. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, this is why we hear Latino women, for example, always going on look at TikTok. How they are saying how these black men get in these relationships with them and they talk bad to black women. I seen a TikTok like that not too long ago. She had to tell this man, I don't want to be with you like that. If you running down your own, she said, I don't see no Latino men talking about us like that. So for you to, Latino people, they are very strict about family units. And they will stick together. They will not fold for another race on their own. And they can be fighting with that person. But in public, they're going to put on a united front. And this is what we need to be taught. Because we are so quick to divide. It's a jealousy tactic. And it's an egotistical issue. So you have the narc man or the narc woman who does their best to replace you while trying to groom the replacement to be you. And they don't even have to know who you are. But they will drop little hints on what this person needs to change in order to please them. And because this person may, unfortunately, be desperate for love, honey. And they may be in the same situation you just got delivered out of. When that narc first met you, that person is in that same energy. Don't love themselves. Don't know themselves. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Just want to be loved because they're an empath. They feel. And they naturally absorb other people's energy. And when you're not taught as an empath, especially as a kid, when you're not taught how to guard your energy, how to put certain boundaries up, and you walking around and all you think you're doing is spread love, but the truth is you absorbing as well. You're a receptor. And so you have to now learn how to do these things. Because unfortunately, when you wake up and leave outside your door every day, you are going to come across some foul demon that's in a meat suit. It's unfortunate, but this is just what it is. But we thank God for judgment. So they end up doing their best to get your replacement, which, by the way, they can never replace you. But one day, they end up replacing you with what you call an evil empath. This is going to be the meat of this video right here at 30 minutes. All right, so everything else was good, but this is where we get to the meat of the matter. All right? Now, watch this. An evil empath is similar to an empath and a super empath. However, the difference between an empath, super empath, and an evil empath is the intention. Case in point, and it's very simple. An evil empath has the ability to manipulate you by way of feelings because they can feel. Versus an empath who can only manipulate you to the degree of their pain. In other words, what they allow themselves to feel, and they can't feel anything else outside of that. This is why you get narcissists who align themselves up with psychopaths and sociopathic behavior. I'm going to say it again in a simpler form. Narcs can't feel your energy. They don't care about you. They don't care. They operate from their own place of hurt. And they have numbed themselves to that, and that's what drives them. This is why you see narcs have hard times crying. If they end up crying, it's only because they feel their own pain that they have not healed from. Their tears will never be about you. Never. A narc will never cry about you. If they're crying about you, the relationship they lost or the marriage they lost, I promise you, it ain't even that. It's how am I going to look in society telling these people that I failed at a marriage or that I failed in a relationship? They're going to ask me, where is Bobby? And I'm going to have to tell them that Bobby is gone. He's not here. How am I going to save face? They're not crying over you that I lost a good one. 3223 in the building. They're not crying over you as a person. My heart is gone. What am I going to do? My supply has left me. Has nothing to do with your feelings. It has to take God going to have to break their back. Just like God broke the back of Pharaoh in order for them to even feel anything on your behalf. And I'm not saying that's not possible. But it's up there. I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's up there. The chance of that happening is like this. Is it possible? Yes. But not empaths, but narcs don't feel. What makes an evil empath worse than a narcissist is that they actually have a leg up over the narc because they get to, as an empath, remember, they're born empaths. Narcs are created. Narcissists are usually children who are sensitive, but has went through so much trauma that the way that their soul begins to fragment out of a means of survival, that child ends up grabbing a hold to survival mechanisms. When a child can see that all I got to do is cry and I can make the whole room jump like, oh, baby, what's wrong? They start using manipulation tactics to maneuver people's emotions on their behalf. But it's going to be from an impact of I can't feel. Remember, it's a survival tactic. So the fragmentation has numbed them. They could have been healed from this, but when you grow in something like this and you continue to give yourself, as you are being made more aware of your pain and you continue to give yourself over to this entity, because narcissism is definitely an entity, trust me. There is a point of no return. There is a point that they are fully given over. You understand? And depending on what activities that the narcissists end up getting into, especially spiritually, there is what you call the exchanging of souls. In other words, that person is no longer in that body. They have vacated and a demonic energy is now in that body. So what you end up seeing is the meat suit or the shell of the narc. But what's in that shell is the demon that is taking over, a full exchange. You understand? The evil super empath or the evil empath is worse than the narc because they are able to sit back from a standpoint. They went through the hell, they went through the trauma, most likely childhood trauma, not always. But this is what you call the good girl turned bad or the good guy turned evil, right? They're the ones who go through the trauma, they go through the pain, they go through all of this, but they keep their ability to feel. And what ends up happening is that they sit back and they will study their target and they will see what makes them tick, how it makes them tick, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. You understand? And they won't hook you. This is the dangerous part. They won't hook you. They strum you softly like a guitar. They don't play you like a fiddle. They are playing a Spanish ballad with your behind. Because what they have gathered, the information that they have gathered, watch this, and they do it to narcs especially, because they cannot feel, they won't pick up on them being played. Okay, I'll say that again. They especially look for narcissists because they know that this narc will not pick up on them getting played by the evil empath because they cannot feel. The evil empath manipulates by way of feeling. They pick up on what has broken you and they use that as oh my God. This is why the narc can never survive against an evil empath. This is probably one of the most dangerous energies you can come across. Am I making sense to y'all? If there's anything that I need to explain that you don't understand, please drop it in the live. Because I will be more than happy to explain to you what I'm saying. And if you're watching this on playback, I would be more than happy to explain it in the comment section. So these people, when they go through, like for example, everybody's going to go through the dark night of the soul, even a narc. Trust me. Even the narc has to go through the dark night of the soul. Because watch this, on your judgment day, you will not have an excuse to say, well, I didn't go through my dark night of the soul. I wasn't given a chance to evolve. Everybody on this green earth will give an accountability of their evolution. And you're going to always be periodically judged while you are in the land of the living. But once you transition, the ultimate throne room judgment is where you're gonna be scaled. And depending on how them scales fall on that balance beam, it's no, a dark feminine is not necessarily a evil empath. No. The reason why I say that is the femme fatale. The femme fatale is, or the man, some people call it man eater. I feel like a man eater, like, okay, dark feminine is right here. I feel like the femme fatale is not, they come to a close second, right? And the reason why I say that, well, the reason why I say that is because, or let me switch it. A femme fatale or a man eater has a little bit more of an advantage over a dark feminine. That's what I mean to say. All right. Irva, thank you for joining the Epic Mystic membership. I really do appreciate you. You're going to have fun over there. One of the reasons why I personally believe that a femme fatale has a little bit more leverage over a dark feminine is because a dark feminine is going through a training on how to balance her Lilith energy. Okay? Dark feminine does not necessarily mean evil. Remember, dark is not synonymous with evil. Just like the word black should never be synonymous with evil. The color black is a very powerful color. Okay? You and I are dark brown, light brown, caramel tone, that kind of thing. We're not necessarily the color of this shirt. All right? Nevertheless, this is a very powerful color. All right? Now, even though they tried to word cursing and say it was death and all this other stuff, so they call you black to call you death. How can you kill what's already dead? See, that's gonna go over some of y'all heads. That's gonna go over some of y'all heads. When you learn what I just said, you will be able to use it to your advantage. How in Black's Law Dictionary, 4114 on the clock. It was 4111 on the clock too. But, Black's Law Dictionary, how they deem the word black as someone who is dead that has no rights. So they call you black, aka African American, right? But they call you black on the census to deem you by spelling, by word power, word shifting, that you're dead and you have no rights. Thank you, Cynthia, for your donation of $50. I appreciate you. May God continue to bless you. When you see that, right? When you see that, and they're calling you this, and they're calling you dead. But if you know how to reverse that curse, you can't kill what's already dead. So I'll explain it like this. The dark feminine energy, and even masculines have their own dark masculine that they have to go through to balance a dark side, right? When you go through the dark night of the soul, when you do shadow work, there is going to be a part where you do have to face your dark feminine side, your dark masculine side, right? You go through the process of what you call meeting the underworld. Not the earth where we're at underworld, but under us, which is the nether realm. So for lack of a better term, on this live, I'm going to call it the underworld, okay? Which would be underneath us. When you go through the underworld, believe it or not, you actually choose whether you subconsciously know that you're choosing or consciously know that you're choosing. You actually choose what side you're going to fall on when you come up. So for some of you light workers, you may not necessarily be 100% light worker, right? Some of you might have came out with goon energy, depending on what you learned when you went to the underworld. How did these spirits, how did spirit and those entities that were allowed to walk with you through the underworld, by the time you came back up for air, you came back up out of that part of the dark night of the soul, depending on what you gleaned and who walked, what entities and deities walked with you through that, you may come up as a light worker goon, which means if you gotta go dark, you can, and it'll be justified. Others came out saying they gravitate more toward the light. At this point, they continue to start shedding even more false light. False light is always going to be most likely religious based, not spiritual based, but religious based. And when it comes to spirituality based with the false light, right? When it comes to the false light on the spiritual aspect, this is where you got entities and deities. Some of them, for example, some of them are seen during the DMT experience. Some folks say they look like praying mantises or whatever. Some of these people have been told when they come back, they say they give accounts of these entities wanting to be worshipped by people, right? Some of these deities and entities that they go over there, and when they be playing with that DMT, some of them entities have false lights, right? In other words, they can be vibrating in the 12th dimension, but they are still false. In other words, their agenda behind that light is not benevolent to the human race or any other race for that matter, right? Just like there's, and you got that everywhere we go, right? Just like you got good people and bad people in a race full of people, you don't want to just off that whole entire race because you got a bad Mexican or a bad so-called black person or a bad Asian or a bad, you don't want to X out that whole entire race because few bad seeds, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. You have to treat the cosmic race like that as well. Now, when it comes to dark feminine energy, when you come up specifically for the dark feminine energy, you heal the Lilith aspect of yourself. When you heal the Lilith aspect of yourself, this takes you out of karmic energy. In other words, this takes you out of this takes you out of being a karmic to anyone else. All right? You have mastered something and healed something. Your Lilith is no longer abandoned. because you took the time to speak to her, to work those hurts and pains out of her. You have now accepted this part of you. Every woman has an Eve and every woman has a Lilith. And within that Eve and that Lilith is the yin yang, okay? Lilith may be of the number 5, which is chaos energy. They say is evil, but the truth is she has infinite potentiality because that chaos is unlimited creativity. She's an unknown aspect. She's not fully embraced. She is the so-called black woman. Why every woman want to be us but don't want to go through what we have to go through, right? How every day the world, some shape, form, or fashion tries to always put the weight on our shoulders to always have to prove our rights to be seen when we're automatically being seen, because if we weren't seen, we wouldn't be copied. But yet, you know, when it comes to us speaking our truth and our voice, they want us to be invisible. We will not be invisible. You're going to hear our voices all day long. So this is where you get the Lilith aspect versus Eve, who, indirectly is responsible for, according to the scripture, not according to me, but according to the scriptures, she is indirectly responsible for throwing the whole of humanity into a cataclysmic change for the worse. In other words, we went from being fully divine and eternal and immortal to fall from grace, mortal, and separated from God, which at the end of the day meant to be separated fully from ourselves, right? So therefore, from that day forward, we needed a priest, somebody who was instructed by God on how to ceremonially to cleanse themselves in order for them to go into the holies of holies and speak as a messenger directly to God on our behalf. Now that veil has been torn and rent, though we still have priests and priestesses, because there is certain levels to obtain when it comes to the spiritual realm that most people have not. They will become a third party on behalf of those people in that aspect. But the truth is, when you realize and recognize who you are and the power you possess, there is no in between. So the femme fatale, when it comes to the savage level, is here. The dark feminine on the savage level is here. And the reason why is because femme fatale is born not out of a desperation, but as a means of protection of that woman's heart when she continues to keep coming across no good men or women who basically it's the agenda of revenge. The femme fatale is a woman who is revenge and avenge driven. Okay? Now, this is what you call the sexual assassin. All right? She'll use what she got to get what she want. Right? You say evil empath. That's the 3 figures Miss Silly held up to Mr. at the end of The Color Purple. Shut up. You talking about when she did this? Femme fatale, a femme fatale is to me not necessarily a karmic. A karmic will just hurt because they want to just hurt people. They unhealed, so they want other people to feel their pain. Right? They're the kid that got the bobo that they don't even need a band-aid, but they make it way more worse than what it is. That's a karmic. The femme fatale is very calculated in her thinking. I'll say his or her thinking because you can have masculine men, you can have men who can take on the energies of a femme fatale. But it would be masculine fatale, but still, I mean, this woman is very calculated. She will use player tactics against the player. Okay. You also have men that's like this, right? Unfortunately, with the femme fatale, they take this from my heart was broken, because a femme fatale is born out of trauma from a relationship, or trauma from who they may deem as love interest. And it will start with, most likely it'll start with the opposite sex. Okay. Especially if they had like a bad childhood experience with, like, let's say if it's a woman and she had a bad child experience with her father. What ends up happening is that she'll take that experience from her father not being there, being absent, or treating her like dirt, or molestation, or whatever she's went through with her father. She'll take that into adolescence and eventually into adulthood. Now, whether she heals from this or not, it really doesn't, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it plays a role. But what ends up happening is, if she chooses to heal in a way, this is going to sound very distorted. Just hear me, because somebody going to say, well, she ain't really healed. But if she chooses to heal in a way that, okay, I have made peace with what has happened to me, but now it's time for somebody to pay, then you go off into femme fatale mode. Unfortunately, good men do get hit with this energy. Unfortunately, good women get hit with this energy. It's unfortunate. Femme fatales are very calculated, though, because one of the things that a femme fatale will do is, a femme fatale who still has some form of, their heart is not totally cold. What ends up happening is they will hurry up and break a relationship off, or they will break away from someone that they will deem as, this person doesn't need to get hurt by me. This person doesn't have the heart that I'm looking for to destroy. So you do have some femme fatales. I'm not gonna lie, they do come off as like borderline narcissists and borderline karmics. But they still have, this is why I say they're up here, because they have just enough warmth in their heart. It's like 90% cold, but they will use that 10% to spare somebody, right? So a femme fatale, again, is like a sexual assassin. They are purposely 10 to 20 steps ahead of, making sure whatever. So, all right. Right. Right, design. So, you have the evil empath who is above the narcissist. So I'm saying all this to say, the karmic justice that's going to be rendered to some of your narcissists are going to be ultimately getting with an evil empath. This is going to be somebody who is going to drain them for everything. You hear me? This is not going to end well for those who've hurt you. And for those of you who may have had to depart and cut ties with a narcissist or narcs that are not physically able to attract a good looking person, or they're not easily able to get into a relationship, your karmic justice that's going to be rendered on their heads on your behalf is going to come more than one way. For some of these narcs, they're getting ready to be homeless. Okay, a lot of them are going to be on the streets. They ain't going to be able to be homosexual in this season. A lot of them are not. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're not going to be able to find. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. There is a portal where you have empaths on this side, and the portal door was open, and you have narcs. That door I see in the spiritual realm is closed. It's closed, People are walking around with shields over them and they don't even know it. There are empaths who are not even awakened. The narc's power is, they ain't got no more power. It's gone now. You remember when y'all asked me about the veil last year? Y'all asked me about the veil in 2021. And I told y'all we was coming upon a time in 2021. I told y'all we was coming upon a time that there wasn't going to be no more veil. Y'all asked me again early in 2022. And I said to y'all, I said, there is no more veil. Now I'm seeing different people say the same thing, which lets me know that it's obvious. It's obvious that there is no more veil. When there is no more veil, the tables are turned. My stomach. It's because I'm hungry. The tables are turned. The truth is uncovered. The truth can no longer be hidden. See, when they had a veil, when the spiritual realm had that veil, it was easier for these people to mask their energy as false light. It was easy for them to swap destinies with somebody else. It was easier for them to spiritually bully people. And now that there is no veil, they can't do that. And so you got a lot of people trying to scramble some of the world's best dark magic sorcerers together. And it ain't working. And a lot of these people who do evil magic, they not even with this stuff no more. They not with this stuff no more. They not with it. Because they see the consequences are greater than it was before. And some of these people are reaping harvest for the stuff they did on behalf of these people already. So you think they're going to heap more stuff? Nah. And a lot of these people knew that you were innocent. And they still chose to attack you anyway. So you got a lot of karmic justice coming down. It's right there. It's so many covens that's getting ready to be fighting against each other. It's like you're going to be seeing just people throwing their magic like that Five of Wands. Do you know that's really what the Five of Wands is? You do know that, right? Originally, the Five of Wands is a coven that turned against each other. It's a coven of witches who were working together against one person who just so happened to be the Fool, who is the chosen one. Shout out to the chosen ones. The Fool's journey is called the Fool journey because that Fool is protected during that journey. That's what they don't understand. That tower does not happen as a means of punishment to the Fool. See, when you start an unknown journey, you are reset to zero because you don't know. You're getting ready to walk into the unknown. So Fool is not necessary. Watch this. Fool is not someone who's dumb. You're just ignorant to the fact. That's not a reflection of your intelligence. Let's get that extremely clear, that word fool. The advantage that you have as a fool, let me help you, because somebody need to know this. And I'm speaking to you as a sacred clown. I know who I am. I hold many hats. And one of my hats, I'm a sacred clown. It's not an easy hat to carry. Trust me. Some of your comedians who are on the right side of God, who are righteous, are sacred clowns. And that's a very hard thing to carry. I believe that Robin Williams was a sacred clown. You understand? So listen to me. Maid, honey, you're right. When it comes to the Fool, sometimes that bliss, that ignorance is actual bliss because it keeps you from knowing the darts that's being thrown towards you. You remember, you're resetting to zero, so you're a babe all over again in whatever journey. This whole journey is not just about mastery. You know how I know it's not just about mastery? If it was, it would have been a double digit number. Mastery is number one. Did you know that? Look at it. The full card is 0. The most powerful number you can ever have. You add a bunch of zeros on a check that has a 1. Give it here. Would you rather have a $10 check or a $100 check? Would you rather have a $100 check or a $1,000 check? I can keep going. You understand you know where I'm going with this. 0 is the most powerful. You put that in front of a 1, and you get a decibel number, which is less than 1 itself. It's less than a whole. That's 10%. It's reduced to 10% of a number, which means it's not even a whole number. It's a very powerful number, that 0. You have an advantage being the fool, not knowing. Because when you are young in a specific journey and you got people trying to throw evil work on you, your fear can materialize that evil work. So God will keep you blind to a lot of things. And then he will make some things known as you work your way up and you're able to handle it effectively, right? One of the other reasons why the Fool card is extremely powerful, it is not just because it symbolizes someone on a journey. And remember, not alone, because it has a dog as a companion, right? In other words, you're alone as a person, but nevertheless, nature is your companion, right? It is also in traditional tarot, the Fool card in traditional tarot. It has also been recognized as the court jester, aka the trickster. Okay. This is where God help me. If I don't make it simple, please ask questions because I would love to clear it up. Out of all of the court cards, out of all of the kingdom placement holders, the butler, the maid, the servant, butler, maid, servant, whatever you want to call them, the court holders, the protectors, the advisors, and keep going on and on. Then you have the court jester who comes in and amuses the king and the queen by playing the fool. But watch this. Out of all of those people who are employed by the king and the queen in the kingdom, the court jester is the only one who is given the right to purposely mock the king and get away with it. You didn't catch that, huh? Did you catch it? The court jester is the only one who can purposely mock the king and get away with it. What powerful, listen to me, what a powerful way to maneuver through this life. They call you the fool because you could not see that they were using you and abusing you. Little did they know, God placed you on their path as a fool to expose them. Saints, it don't feel, my God, it don't feel good. It don't feel good when God puts you on his hook as a little worm, like bait, and cast you out there and into the deep. Oh my God, who is this for? Because I know it's for me. Who am I talking to? He put you on his look cosmic hook and put you out there into that deep, deep sea. And it don't feel good because you dangling. Oh my God. And you got these big fish befriending you. You don't even know you're a worm, baby. You don't know you're a worm. And these fish ain't telling you different because all they wants to do is get close to consume you. So they can go on and find the next thing to consume. Oh my. Help me. But little did they know you was attached to a little piece of metal called justice. And when they latched onto you, they didn't kill you. You just went right on into their belly, just like Jonah did. Because sometimes God will use your hard head, your ignorance. The bliss of it all is that you're not destroyed. But you are contained within the belly of the beast. But you're being reeled into the shore. Because even the whale had to spit Jonah up. Oh my God, do you hear me? So you're being used to catch these big fish. Or little. Just know that God ain't throwing them back. When they say you got bigger fish to fry, yeah, God frying it. Do you hear me? I want to cry. I want to cry. Because I feel it heavy. It don't feel good when God is using you in that capacity because you will get hurt. It hurts. It hurts like hell. But I am reminded in the book of Romans. Thank you, God. That the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that will be revealed in us. That pain gonna run deep, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. This healing journey is not what they are putting up on social media. It ain't cute. It ain't tulips. It ain't roses. How God would use your pain to bring you to a prosperous place, but the in-between point A and point B is hell. Do you hear me? But it ain't worthy to be compared to that glory. It's not worthy to be compared to the anointing that you gain, that glow, that light that you will gain. Oh my God. Because at the end of the day, he will even use your enemies to protect you and you not know it and they not know it. My God. Do you hear me? Yeah. So you listen to me. Listen to me. It's not coming a time. The time is here. It ain't coming a time. The time is here. It's not coming a time, but the time is here. You've been through enough. You've been through enough. You've been through enough. You've been through enough. God say you've hung on this cross long enough. They have pierced your side long enough. The water coming out the side long enough. Father, why have you forsaken me? Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. See, we've went through these things. But the last utterance that matters the most is the breaking point. Your breaking point is not going to look the same as your neighbor's breaking point. But it is going to sound something like this. In my hands, in your hands, I commit my spirit. It is finished. That's going to translate into many different things when it comes to you and your life. For some of you, it's going to say, I'm done. I quit. I can't keep getting hurt like this. This is it. For some of you, I'm not going to lie. Now, I don't condone. Listen, we all are human. We're in this human body. Even though Some of us got rankings, certain rankings, okay? We're still having a human experience. For you hear that in the background? That police? It's happening right now. Karmic justice is you hear that, huh? Karmic justice is being rendered right now for a lot of us. I'm telling you, simultaneously. For some of you, I don't know who I'm talking to. You might have woke up not saying some good words toward God or to God. You might feel like you're hell bound now. You're not. You're not. How do I know? First of all, God is not as harsh toward us as we are to ourselves. That's number one. Number two, I know that God loves us beyond our pain, even when we talking reckless. You hear me? Number three, it's going to take a little bit more than that for God to just turn his back on you. God ain't no punk. God sticks by his children. Number four, God does not treat us as our sins deserve. God won't even hold what you do against you as more as you will hold it against yourself. The moment that you release yourself, sit. For he casts it as far as the east is, as far as it is to the west. And remembers it no more. You remember it. God ain't worried about that. There are people who did their best to make you stay hidden, to manipulate your finances, your love life. I know because I was a victim of all this stuff. But now I am here on this live and I decree and I declare right now in the mighty name of love, which that is above all. Love is above all vibrations. I decree and declare that I, alongside my children, we are victors. And we hereby this day leave out of hell, not only with all power in our hands, but the keys to hell and death belongs to me and my children. This part of my life, I hang up. I am officially divorced. Thank God. It's done. It's done. And I can no longer be used as a shield to keep karmic justice away from anybody. I stand in my power. I stand in my power. And I use every animalistic right to defend me and my children. And I do not apologize for it. Every right. And there's a difference between darkness and evil. Remember that. God knows how far your limits are. And sometimes he will allow you to be pushed to the edge. Sometimes he'll allow you to be pushed off the edge. Not just to prove a point to your enemies, but to also prove a point to you that if it came time that you are pushed off the edge like the fool, the only reason why the traditional deck does not show him falling off that edge is because he's overlooking the possibilities, right? But the truth is, if that traditional fool did get pushed off the ledge or jumped off, he wouldn't fall to his demise. He has help to fly. Mastery is the next card, which is number 1. Mastery. Learning the elements and how to use and manipulate the elements in your favor. You hear me? You hear me? So, what I'm saying to you is mastering what's around you, mastering the tangible, mastering the elements, even if it's a spiritual sense. It'll be earth, air, fire, and water. Before you can move to the high priestess energy, which is the second, which is number 2, which is the initiation after being introduced into the magician. The magician deals with the tangible. The high priestess deals with the intangible, which you cannot feel. Only what you can sense. This is intuition, intuitive energy. Going from what you can see to what you cannot see. The fool starts this part of the journey early on. Under 5 cards, the fool is already moving important strides. Because everything else after that is going to build on those 2 foundations. Right? Foundation is the magician. Actually, the foundation is the new start. The concrete is the magician. And then the wall, which is the aka the pillars of Boaz and Jason, is the high priestess card. Is the high priestess card. So I want y'all to know, as you move to the Empress, then the Emperor, because remember, unfortunately for some people, they do not want to acknowledge how powerful the Empress is over the Emperor. The reason why she's number 3 and the Emperor is number 4, she's listed first, is because she gives birth. She is the cosmic queen of the universe and the earth. She is the one who lays between the literal universe and earth itself. Any energy that has a life force, she is what rules between the two. She uses the elements of life giving to rule in the earthly realm, but she's given as a gift to earth from the higher ups. This is what makes her important. All right? Leadership is in number 4. It's not just somebody who's deemed as ruling as with an iron fist, or somebody who could be cold and aloof. Yeah, that could be there because we have Mars energy or Marician energy. Can you close this door here? Mars energy or whatnot, because you move from Venus to Mars. But the truth is at one point in time, Venus and Mars was husband and wife. You have to understand that. And Venus is hotter than Mars. The only person that Mars cannot defeat is Venus. Mars is bloodthirsty and can slay everybody else, but when it comes to Venus, he cannot. He cannot slay her. It's impossible. He's tried it and it just wouldn't help. Because in order for him, he would have to take himself out. But she's invincible. Because through her, and I'm talking about the Empress, all things came into being. So how can you kill the universe? You cannot. Is this why they were trying to learn what's the cosmic glue? So they can try to take it all apart and rebuild it to the way they want? For you cannot dismantle love. Love cannot be dismantled. Love is the only molecule that cannot be dismantled. There's no way. When you reduce molecules to atoms and you get that one little thing, that's love. It cannot be reduced to anything smaller than that. That's it. And that has no beginning and it has no end. That is the true calling of the Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek. That is the true calling. It got distorted along the way because the children of Cain, I said it, the children of Cain ended up distorting that lineage, that bloodline. And so you have a false, in the earth, you have a false Melchizedek line, which some of them, are of Anunnaki blood. And that's why you hear me say them beard gang. And I'm not saying all the men who got beards is like that. But, when you study what you study and you know what you know, you when you see them, you know who they are. You see them. When you see them, you can recognize them. They all got that same aura. It just is what it is. And some of them ain't bearded. Some of them ain't bearded. They have an energy about them. You could tell. Right? Yeah, the after tarot. Yeah, VK. There is one tarot deck where it talks. I seen it. And I was like, that's cute. There's a tarot deck that's talk about how the fool falls off the cliff. And I was like, that's dope. Paula, there's nothing wrong with fighting back. You got to stand your ground. You have to stand your ground. You got to stand your ground. You have to. Ain't nothing wrong with you fighting back. Listen, for those of you who want some spell work done, go to my website. Get the $30.13 spell kit. When it runs out and I'm done, if it's meant for me to put it back up, I will. But I'm just letting y'all know that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. And the collective, I pray for the collective. I pray that we gather our strength and our courage, and that we would tangibly start to see our victories swiftly. Not slowly but surely, but swiftly. Quickly. That's my prayer. Very quickly. We deserve victory. We deserve justice. Don't let nobody, including yourself, make you feel bad for wanting to be vindicated. It's so many people that throw that forgiveness, they throw that around like it's like, let me tell you something. There is a time to have to forgive and have compassion. But then there's a time where you have to stand your ground. You understand? Even Jesus was going in the town markets and was flipping tables over because of the injustice that was going on over there. Ain't nothing wrong with you going to your local government and putting your foot on their neck and keeping they behind accountable to where all the funds is going. Why you want to put taxes on the gas and we still got potholes? There's nothing wrong with you getting involved. If you feel you are called to deal with politics in that manner, you gather your tribe together and by all means you start chopping off heads. Because this is the year and this is the month that these people are going to start figuring it out. That we have came into the knowledge that we hold all the power. And without us, their lives would not be possible. So this is where we take power back, folks. There's nothing wrong with you wanting retribution. There's nothing wrong. Did not David ask God, avenge me, O God? Let not my enemies laugh at me. Let not my enemies dash me into pieces. You know how many Psalms David got with God saying, God, get him. Sick him. Get him. It's a bunch of them up in there. There's even some Psalms where it's David writing to God, crying out to God, and then you can hear the dialogue change. It goes from, God help me. And then he said, in the days of your trouble, I will not leave you or forsake you. God starts to take over the pen. The man go from asking God for help to prophesying to himself. I'm starting to get them same chills I got when I did that chant. When you look in the mirror, you shall see power. When you look in the mirror, you should see power. I'm feeling it. Your enemies are extremely afraid right now, saints. They're trembling. Not only did they not destroy you, but they just leveled you up. They leveled you up and didn't even know it until it was too late. They were so hell-bent on thinking that they were going to destroy you. So that chapter now is closed. I want somebody to drop the definition of vengeance, please. I'm not going to Camilla. Let me say this to you, sweetheart. God knows exactly what to give you. Ask God. If you want revenge, you tell God. God is going to maneuver the situation to reflect it best for you. God is not a harsh person where your lingo is just going to get cut. You know, it's God knows what you, God knows. God knows. God knows. God, I want you to avenge me. When God says vengeance is mine, thus say the Lord, that you think of it like a very protective parent showing up at school on behalf of their child and getting in the face of that child. See, a lot of y'all don't like that because you're like, oh, a grown person shouldn't be in a child's face. But sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes somebody grown getting in the child's face so that little kid can stop bullying that child. Because see, that's the kind of influence it is. Some children don't stop bullying until an adult does get involved. And that's really what all this is anyway. So what if God got to be your mommy or your daddy, holding your hand, ushering you back to school, telling you they ain't gonna mess with you now, baby. I'm on the scene. If that's what it is, that's vengeance. When you ask God to avenge me, God will show up. I'm going to do this on my baby's behalf. There's nothing wrong with asking for God to avenge you. There's nothing wrong with God asking God. You, again, go in them Psalms. Michi, I'm trying to tell you, I know, the gang stalking be real. I know, trust me. And you sometimes be asking, like, you be asking God, like, how can I bring these spiritual, when you go into court, it's like, how can I can't bring this spiritual information to a mundane court, you know? They not going, it's like, how do you balance that out? Because you don't want to go in there and they going to tell you crazy. When you start talking about gang stalking and spiritual manipulation and stuff, and that's out of their hands, they can't do nothing because it's a mundane court. So you got to take it to the high courts. Okay, God, this is what is going on. And I'm bringing this before you. These Negroes won't leave me alone. They keep doing this. I'm asking for you to avenge me. You take vengeance in your hands on my behalf and let that vengeance be yours. But cover me and my children in the process and take this crap from me. You might feel the need to fast. Thank you. I am free says the definition of vengeance is punishment inflicted or retribution exacted for an injury or wrong. So there's nothing. Listen to me. I want to clear this up today. On my channel, there is nothing wrong with asking God to be avenged. You've been wronged. Somebody inflicted injury upon you. I don't care what shape, form, or fashion that is. If you are innocent and you are righteous and you done nothing wrong, you have the right to ask God to avenge you. Stop telling people don't ask for that. That's a lie. Let's keep it in the context. There's nothing wrong with asking God to make something right. Take care of these. Yes, you will want God to avenge you. Now, there's certain things. Now, we're talking about taking certain things into your own hands. There's a difference. So we want to keep it into the context, right? That's what I mean. That's exactly what we're talking about here. You intervening versus God intervening. That's what so vengeance is not, I'm not saying that you taking it upon yourself. Vengeance is just that. It's punishment. And it's punishment that's deserved. It's a deserving punishment to those who have rendered unnecessary punishment to innocent people. And however that rendering come down the pipe over the heads of those who are guilty that they've done to the innocent, I don't care as long as it happens. As long as it happens. And that's called justifiable punishment, by the way. That's what it's called, justifiable punishment. Yes, don't start none, won't be none. So we're going to keep it in that context. Real quick. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, these cards fell out reversed. I don't feel the need to keep these reversed. But for those of you who are into reversals, because I know some people are heavy into reversals, I'm going to read it like this. See how this truth card is upside down? This is number 20 in the major arcana. The truth in this particular deck, this is a modern card. Traditionally, this would be the judgment. This is Archangel Gabriel blowing the horn for the dead to rise first, to go to the throne room of judgment, to see whether or not they fall on the righteous part of the scales or the unrighteous part of the scales. This person, as you can see in the upright, do you see that? They're on a scale. The other scale is here. You see that? They're on this scale and this scale is here. And look. To us, it looks even, right? This is talking about the truth being weighed. Evaluation, right? But it came out reversed. The Seven of Cups came out reversed. And listen, all donations are welcome. I thank you for your donations. Seven of Cups is reversed, along with the Judgment card reversed. Again, I don't do reversals, but I'm going to tell you what I do know. Somebody failed their evaluation due to the poor choices that they made. The Seven of Cups, that's reversed. The Seven of Cups upright it deals with different choices, and it's not always with love, okay? It's different things that's represented in different cups. Excuse me, y'all, sorry. But this is talking about having many decisions, many times they was given the chance to make things right, and they kept choosing everything else but making it right. Everything else but repenting. Everything else. The Judgment card also talks about repentance. Things being made right as well as in the Judgment card. Because what ends up happening is you get weighed. You go under evaluation. Somebody was found very unclean, darling. Not only that, but some of you may have actually been poisoned and lived to tell about it. You could have been attached to somebody in a relationship that was poisoning your food, putting poison in your water, and God still kept you. Okay, Holy Spirit. Yeah, the time he told you the time you was told you had a UTI and you was mad and upset and you end up getting some cranberry pills and flushing out your system, you was flushing out poison. Do you hear me? The time all of a sudden your body told you to take in extra water and you kept pissing back to back to back. Oh my God. And that's all you kept doing was pissing. And you was wondering why my body just want a bunch of water. You was pissing out poison, baby. Did you hear what I just told you? You have survived the worst that anybody can do to you. I'm also hearing in the spiritual realm, a lot of y'all are coming out of hermitage. A lot of us are coming out of hermitage. There's no more hiding you anymore. It's time to now be integrated back into society. For some of us, we're going to look back on them hermitage days and we're going to wish we had some, because even though, we're getting ready to be integrated back into society full-fledged, but the truth is that, you're going to be looking back and you're going to be grateful for the times that you had time to yourself. Somebody played with the wrong person or wrong people. Somebody missed their hour of visitation. Do you hear me? The horn blew and they did not heal. They did not turn away. Somebody is, my God, Holy Spirit, I thank you. I thank you. Somebody conscience is seared, honey. Somebody's been given over to a reprobated mind. Somebody cannot cross back over the sand. Somebody is stuck now. They can't. Somebody's gone beyond repentance. Okay? You think there's no such thing. But I'm telling you, somebody is gone. They can't. Somebody say, well, God don't want to lose us. Well, sometimes souls is lost because they choose. You see that word? Where it says choose wisely? You see that word says choose? See, honey? They chose it. It was a choice. Just like you had a choice not to do the thing and you didn't do it. You had every right to retaliate and you didn't. You was even justified to retaliate and you didn't. You don't think God's gonna reward that? At the bottom of the deck, what's at your feet, what's staring at you, you staring at it. The 5 of Pentacles. Financial and material changes. This is not necessarily a bad card in this situation concerning you. The 5 of Pentacles could be meaning a purging is going on. This could be some of y'all doing spring cleaning a little bit earlier this year. Getting rid of stuff. This could also be some of you losing a job or losing a form of income in order to usher in something else. This is not necessarily bad for everybody. Because 5, remember, still carries the energy of chaos, which is infinite potentiality. But in this respect of those who missed their hour of visitation for repentance, this is them losing it all because they sent so much spell work to you to lose it all. And for some of y'all, that spell work did take as a means to humble and bring down, and of course, and that's another thing that I'm still trying to grasp, because I really don't care for some of this stuff. I think it's because when you grow up in the black church, you kind of, things are used to gaslight you. Like, for example, they said, well, ain't no testimony without a test. Some people use that as a means to gaslight you, to make you, feel whatever. But the truth is, when it's used in this righteous context, which means, there is no testimony without a test, which means God wouldn't put anything on you that you can't pass. Right? So for a lot of us, this is also the reflection of the people who did you dirty. They're getting ready to lose it all. I told y'all in the beginning, some folks was getting ready to be homeless. Without homes. Because this is what they wanted for you. And some of y'all was out on the streets. Not no more. Not no more. What's crowning you, which means you can't see it, because it's up here, you're not doing this. It's up here. It's crowning you. At your feet is what's staring at you. You staring at it. This is what you can see coming. This is near future. This could be near or far future. However, this is something that you cannot see. These enemies can laugh all they want. They can make it seem like their lives are good. They can make it seem like they're enjoying themselves. I'm going to be honest with you. For some of us who have been dealing with covens, people coming at us 6 and 7 at a time, and they covens, they are going through this karmic, they are getting karmic justice rendered upon their heads right now as I speak. And they're lying to each other. Girl, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Everything's fine. But the truth is their whole world is falling apart. They ain't got no more marriage. It's just everything falling apart. There's people who are suffering in silence to try to save face and ego. But guess what? God already said the truth is coming out. It's not going to be hidden, baby. That sun card energy that I feel, the sun card is not it. But this is what's going on. Some of your karmics is going to be going to jail as well. And they know this. Physical jail. Not mental. Not just mental. We know 9 of Swords could be a mental prison because people up at night can't sleep. Spiritual jail. But for some of you, for some of us, these people are going to physical jail. Because this was fraudulent activity that was going on. Trust and believe that. And look, behind that, you get your fulfillment of wishes. See, I'm not afraid anymore to do this kind of reading. Because I know they can't block it. 4664. They can't block it anymore. You try some shit during this live, even on the playback. Go ahead and try it. I promise you this is going to backfire right on that ass. Go ahead and try it. If you're froggy, leap your ass right into that frying pan. Because you and everybody attached to you is going to feel that crackle, snap, and pop. Trust me. Try it. Since you're so damn froggy, you better leap your ass into a tree and leave us alone. And go do your tree frog shit over there. But we are protected over here. You better believe that. And frogs don't live long anyway. So don't come over here with that. That was my foot. See? For any of y'all say, "Ooh, she just did a fart." No, that's my foot. You get the fulfillment of wishes at the 9 of Cups. They suffering in silence. And they gonna have to watch you get it. Can't hide this no more. The treasure is open now. Matter of fact, I am the treasure. Underneath the 5 of Pentacles is the 7 of Pentacles. This is having patience and planning. Planning on how you're going to maneuver next. How you're going to go forth next. Okay? Underneath that is the 4 of Wands. It's a lot of wands. It's a lot of action energy going on here. So you literally have 5, 7, and 4. That could be possibly an angel number. 574 angel number. If anybody want to look at it and put it down, look. Firm foundation. Because God said, I'm not going to let you build nothing rocky and shaky no more. God is the only parent that I know that will never have their children out here in rags. When I say that, I'm talking about metaphorically. Yes, things happen, and I understand it don't feel good when God is using you to prove a point. I get it. It can be very frustrating and aggravating, but just know look, this stuff is falling out, y'all. This stuff is falling out reversed. They can't, this is the 7 of Swords. They can't be deceivious anymore. They can't deceive you. And look, this is envy and deception. Deception and envy upright. It fell reversed. They can no longer, you see how he's putting that mask on? Well, mask off is reverse. Not only is your enemies being made your footstool, but it's as if like they're exposing themselves. They're exposing the reason why they envious. The reason why they envy you is some of y'all light just shine. Baby, just because you woke up today, somebody is jealous. Do you hear me? It ain't necessarily got to be something you did. It's just who you are. And these people can have way more than you financially and materialistically. But that stuff don't fulfill them, because if it did, they wouldn't be jealous. They miserable. They're miserable. They need to heal. Angel number 574 is a sign that your angels are trying to send you a message of encouragement and reassurance. It is a reminder that you have the power within you to manifest your highest good. It also means Archangel of Blessings in Gematria. Thank you for that. That's right. Envy and jealousy. That stuff is like hell. It's always hungry but never full. Always. They can no longer hide their true selves. Telling you, it's about to be a lot of y'all. It's about to be a lot of bombshell information that's getting ready to. It's gonna be the talk of the town, the talk of the land. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Dana. The base chakra fell out reversed. I'm just telling y'all right now, these people have no protection at all. Not even their ancestors. Their ancestors is in the root chakra and it came out reversed. Nothing. Let me see. Let me see what's at the feet. Victory. Triumph. Number 7. Thank you, Michi. I thank y'all so much. Look at this. Look at this. Triumph. Major Arcana number 7. This is what's at our feet, y'all. Saints, we can see this coming. And it's coming toward us. Let's see what's crowning. A fresh new start. Passion ignited. The freedom to be able to live your life. The freedom. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of fire. It's a lot of energy. You know, they talk about how the world was not going to be destroyed by water, but by fire this time. It's a transmutation of energy that has happened already, y'all. You know, when I talk about that, I always see 1221. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Passion ignited. I want to be nosy. 5 of Swords. Conflict and defeat. As you get your new beginning that is given to you by God. I'm so grateful and thankful. When y'all donate, let me tell y'all. It's always at the right time. Just know that. It's always at the right time. That's all I'm going to say. It's always at the right time. And I'm grateful. 5 of Swords. Conflict and defeat. I received the blessings to come. Yeah. Look. I'm telling y'all, they have conjured up and threw as much as they can't throw no more black magic. You know why they can't throw, not black magic, they can't throw no more evil magic. You know why? Because the spiritual realm is no longer answering them. Their reputation, what I'm hearing, their reputation their reputations are shot in the spiritual realm. They being talked so bad about right now in the spiritual realm. And they're being laughed at too. Some of I ain't even going, nope. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna give them no knowledge. Let it hit them. Let it hit them suddenly. They ain't even got to know. Passion ignited, right? With the conflict card that was right behind that. And look. I can't make this up. Look what's behind the Chariot. The Strength card. Behind that is the solar plexus. And behind that is the Temperance card. This is God. Major arcanas. Do you hear me? The solar plexus chakra is you gaining your willpower back. These people were taking your life force. They was taking life forces to manifest stuff off of your life force. My life force. Not no more. Last but not least, I'm getting out of here. But they didn't have more than you because they were unhealed and unhappy. That's right. That's right. Let me see. And look, they all in their head about it. Y'all, somebody, I can't make this up. Look what's back at the bottom. Somebody is trying to repent. I'm also hearing a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You see how that's a double-minded man? Double-minded. His mind got a mind. That's double-minded. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This what fell out. Two of Swords, mental conflict. Somebody's all in their head. The judgment card is reversed with the choose wisely card, and they got all this Swords energy is because somebody missed their hour of visitation, and what they did not know was they thought that somebody must have taught this person wrong and said, well, you know, this cosmic balance is about good and evil anyway. It's not a cosmic balance against good and evil. It's the eradication of evil on the face of the planet so that the golden era of peace can reign. Evil never had a place in what's being written. It never has. It has always been, since it was formed, the goal was to eradicate it. There is no tolerance of evil. Darkness and light is tolerant because it's one. You can't take the yin apart from the yang. It doesn't work like that. I don't care if you put it on a necklace. It's one molecule, one atom. And it just shows you the different sides of the atom or the molecule. So you can't take the yin and the yang apart. It doesn't work like that. It's like trying to break the universe. You can't. Somebody is now seeing that they, because they thought, well, when they was under this specific evaluation to choose righteousness, they didn't look at it as this is my means to come out and repent and be saved. They was looking at it like, well, we do have a choice in whether or not we want to do evil. And, I don't necessarily believe in consequences of evil because I think it balances the cosmic scale. That's a lie. Somebody was under some deception themselves. Listen, somebody deceived you because they themselves were under deception. That's why this is coming out in reverse. Because whoever these people were dealing with and working for, they started to see they were used. They were used as not only a guinea pig, but, and I don't feel sorry for these people because you could have said no. Especially when somebody working against somebody you don't know and you only going off of what people say. That's how you really get messed up in the spiritual realm. That's how you really get two-pieced. Just sick. Let's see. So financial, somebody knows they are losing it all. And they can't cross. When they was given that last chance to cross over and repent, they didn't. And it would have saved them headache and heartache. Let's see what's crowning, what they can't see. The devil. It's a lot of major arcana cards that's coming out when we do the crowning, what you can't see. This person is addicted to a bunch of they're in a vicious, toxic cycle. Remember when I told you God gave them over to a reprobated mind? Somebody might be on a physical addiction. This could be anything from hard drugs to like 2 packs a day with cigarettes or like an overflow or an influx of how they drink. Especially with the 7 of Cups being reversed. 7 of Cups is usually my card that shows me how somebody just be getting drunk, right? The 9 of Cups reversed can also show drunkenness as well. But I mean, somebody's addicted now. Not only that, but they're now obsessed with you. This is what's crowning you, what you don't see, right? They're obsessed with you. Look. And they got to watch you build a firm foundation with somebody else. It's the second time we had the number 4 card come out talking about foundations, right? We had the Four of Wands talking about foundations. I mean, the Four of Pentacles. Now we got the Four of Wands talking about firm foundation. Somebody's gonna watch you get married. They're gonna have to watch you move on and get married. Right? Let's close this out, God. And you're no longer bound. They're bound. Somebody might have also been trying to like hook a demon from them to you. Somebody might have been trying to transfer like a lust spirit or an alcoholic spirit. Somebody was trying to transfer some spirits, right? Whether incubus, succubus, poverty spirit. Somebody was trying to transfer that, and they got. I was getting ready to say they got stuck. Look what's at the bottom of the deck. They trapped. Somebody's definitely in a mental prison here. Somebody's also regretting these fours. We have 444 now. Four of Cups. Somebody's regretting they did what they did. Somebody's regretting it. Because this is how they see you. They see you bigger than a king or a queen. They see you sitting in emperor energy, empress energy here. For my divine masculines, you're sitting in divine emperor energy. Good for you. Good for you. Shout out to all of the masculines who have done the work and healed and is still healing. We love you. We want you to keep going. You're not by yourself. It's okay to cry. You ain't got to hide anymore. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. Yes, men can be beautiful. You are beautiful, and you are just as worthy of happiness as everybody else is. Okay? So. Yes, I am free. So, and I received this. Somebody sees the Empress has received power from on high now. And they can't do nothing about it. Look what's behind that one. Victory. Triumph. The Chariot card. I love y'all so much. I got one more card for y'all to come out and I'm done. One more card. One more, Spirit. Ooh, somebody is mad. Somebody is mad, boy. Or maybe that was just it. Maybe it's time to hang it up. Okay, hold on. This is interesting. Well, you definitely got allies coming in and making themselves known on the three-dimensional plane. See that? This is the Three of Wands. Beautiful energy, by the way. You see that? Three of Wands. It's like allies in the spiritual realm become tangible. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't gonna, there is a new love that is a past life love. Somebody who was a past life love is coming back into your life quickly with the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is the positive movement forward. Beautiful sunny day, calm waters, reliable boat with big, beautiful sails to catch the wind, to get you there fast. Right? Even though this is the Eight of Pentacles, you will get there fast because this big sail can catch a lot of wind. This Memories of Love is the Six of Cups card. This is a new body in this lifetime, but this is a past life love. This could be somebody in a past life that y'all didn't get to be together in the past life. One of you may have died earlier than the other one. Okay? This could have been that y'all just didn't try and it was a regret. And somebody was like, I'm going to make sure that this lifetime I get the girl or I get the guy. This could have been a mutual agreement in the soul contract. Like y'all manifested each other for the next life. What is that? I'm hearing stuff. Now y'all heard that, right? Did y'all hear that? And then my thing cut off? Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. But that spirit be high. Okay, so look. This is not Five of Pentacles. This is Five of Wands. I felt like you went through the obstacles and the challenges. You stayed true to who you are. You spoke your truth. You stayed authentic as possible. And now God is calling you to rest and rejuvenate because you're getting ready to be propelled into positive movement forward. And you're going to stay busy. Okay, remember you're being reintegrated back into society. All right, you're going to be integrated back in. I can't make this up. Look at the Eight of Wands, accelerated motion. And that star falling out of the sky or comet falling out of the sky is also your cosmic beings coming from the higher up realms to the earth to watch over you. In other words, now it's almost as if like you get huge cosmic, what is that called? Secret Service protection, right? Look what's crowning. Death. So definitely endings for new beginnings. Number 13, today is Friday the 13th, by the way. However, I gotta say it. What you don't see coming, what's crowning you is the fact that some of these people who wished for you to unalive yourself, they're going to end up unaliving themselves. It's just, this is where it's at. The Wheel of Fortune card was behind the transformation card. And we talked about how the wheel was changing for your favorite. One more. I tell no lies. Let me see, I'm being nosy now. I tell no lies about this new love coming in that was a past life love. Somebody's coming in and they're coming in hot. They're coming in very heavy. And you are owed this. Okay? So I'm going to go. I'm hearing something, child. I don't know. I'm going to go and I hope this has helped y'all. You said, come on, Big Papa. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go. And what is that? I heard something, child. Okay. I'm going to go. I love y'all. Oh, I split the deck, y'all. And look. That's how we going to end it right there. I mentioned this card. And I wasn't expecting for it to come out because I was like, you know, if it doesn't come out, it doesn't matter. But guess what? Y'all, look at God. The Sun card. The best card you can get out of this whole entire tarot deck is the Sun card. 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. Wow. A true and real new beginning. And it's all positive changes from here. I love you. 6446. That's 1010. 211 on the clock. Y'all, I love you so much. Please, collective, let's pray for each other. When you say your prayers for yourself and your children, pray for one another. Pray for the world. Pray for the collective. It's been a long time coming. But I know the change is here. I love y'all. Until next time, please go on the website www.orderofthemystichealer.com. Either book your reading or buy a product or both. Doesn't matter. I'm here to help you. I love you so much. Epic Mystics, we are going to continue. I need just one more day of rest, if that's okay with you. I am just a little tad bit drained. And I'm just getting back my energy, having to have gone through court to get my divorce. But I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. So I love y'all so much. Again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. And I gathered up enough to come here on the live. And so I hope that this has been really, really good for y'all. And until next time, love you, love you, love you, love you.